So notation is very, very useful when solving a cube, only because it signifies or lets the cuber or the one solving know turn it and stuff like that. And so this is an algorithm right here, and this is how you execute it. So the only difference between this and this is that this one's just a regular R, and this one's an R prime. It's that with that little apostrophe thingy. And the only difference between them is that this one on the left goes up. The other one goes down. So if you want to know a little bit better of a way of doing it, if you look at it, so if you look at the cube from this angle and you get an R, which stands for right, then you're basically going to turn the cube towards you. And this is the right side if we're solving from this side. So this is the right side. So the R basically means to turn it clockwise. So turn the right side clockwise. So if we look at this, clockwise goes this way. So we're going to turn it this way. If it's counterclockwise, which is what this means over here, we're going to turn it counterclockwise. So anytime you see a apostrophe next to the letter, it always means to turn it counterclockwise. If you don't see it, you're turning it clockwise. So some notation that you can learn. This is basic notation. Basic notation is basically U, which means to turn the top, U prime, R prime, L prime, D prime, B prime, and then there's M and M prime. So those are just some of the more confusing letters are letters that don't signify to turn a certain layer. They're signifying to turn the whole cube in a way. And some of those letters are X, Y, Z, and other ones that if you get X, that basically means to turn whatever's at the bottom of the cube towards you. If you get a Y, that means to turn the cube to the right. If it's Y prime, turn it this way. Then, with X, this is X, X prime. And so, with those, there's another one called Z. This is Z, this is Z prime. So, other ones can be S, so turning the middle layer from this angle, and I think this is E. Pretty sure. That's E. Now, sometimes you will see lowercase letters. That could mean a lowercase r, lowercase l, lowercase u. In that case, it means to turn two layers. So if I get a lowercase r, then that doesn't mean just to turn this one side. That means to go in two and then turn. If I get a little r prime, then I'm going to turn it that down. Now, L and L prime, U and U prime, D and D prime, that's basically just a U. Now, we are dealing with numbers. So, numbers are basically just telling you how many times to turn. Now, on 4x4, on 3x3, if you get like an R2, then that means to turn the right side twice. Now, it doesn't really matter if you get an R prime 2 or an R2 prime. That's basically just signifying to turn it this way. But if you were to just do an R2, it basically comes with the same outcome that you would have gotten with doing the R prime 2. So then that signifies L2, U2, D2, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes when you're doing cubes, some actual non-prime letters are better to use than prime. If I'm doing what's called an H perm, I'm gonna go up twice, go turn the top, go up again with the middle, turn the top twice, go up again, go out, and then go up again, and that is what's called an H perm. I think I forgot to mention F. So F is just to turn the face of the cube. So not this whole area. Don't turn the cube. Don't do a Z. Just turn the face of the cube. If it's F, you turn it this way. If it's F prime, you turn it that way. Now this is another algorithm, and it's called a JPerm, and this is how you execute it. Now I'm going to do an example solve just to show you guys what it would look like in a solve. So just to keep in mind with you guys, I'm not the most efficient with moves. So if you're looking for efficient with moves, then I would go to JPerm or Cubehead or Cubing Encoded's channel. They do a lot of efficient stuff on there. I'm just going to show you what notation would look like in a solve. So I see the green. These two match, so I can pull that in by doing a U, and then I'm gonna do a cube rotation, and then I see that there's a pair right there. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna pull this blue, since it's opposite of green, this way, and then I'm gonna pull it in. Now I see that orange is right here and red is right here. So what I can do with red first, I can pull it over here by doing a U, pull it down, and pull this blue back by doing an F prime to a U prime. If I turn the cube, I see that there's orange white right here. It's above orange, so I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do a U2, U, L prime, U, L. That finishes the cross. So now we're on to F2L, which basically stands for first two layers. So I see this pair right here. So what I can do is shove this clear at the back, pull this edge piece up, pull it out, pull this down to where that restores the cross piece, get this to this spot right here, pull this corner piece down into this corner. That does pull this blue up, but we can put it back. We pull the edge piece into back, pull it up, go to the side that we're supposed to put it in, and insert it. Now, I see this pair right here. So this pair can do the same thing that I did on that side, just with the other hand. Now, this pair right here, these two. This is red and blue, red and blue. So I can pull this down, doing an F, do a U2, do an F prime, and then insert that using R, U prime, R prime. Now I see that blue and orange and blue and orange, but this is not correctly oriented. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out, and then we're going to separate them. So I can take this orange and blue and put it down here. Since there's no pair in this yet, it won't pull out any pair. So I can separate those, pull this corner piece over it, pull it, and then pair them up together, insert, and that's full F2L. Now LLL, there's two ways you can do it. You can either get this L shape in this corner like this, and then pull these two layers down, so doing a little F, and then doing what's called the sexy move, and then pulling it back. I am more comfortable with doing just this, and then we can do an F, and then do the sexy move twice, do an F prime, and it basically does the yellow cross for you. Now I'm going to turn it to where I have a yellow up and then the yellow facing me. If I have this, and there's no yellow facing me, that's incorrect. I don't have a yellow up, so this is going to be the best for me. So I'm going to do soon. And then I see that if I go like this, I see that I have a T-perm. So I'm going to do R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, and F prime. And that is a full solve with the Rubik's Cube.